Yeah.
Rolling.
You're rolling. What's up, YouTube? This is
Audra Bear. What's up?
Yeah, the info's in the description. 2020 Tantra on Amazon. And I don't know if you want to give up your real name or just IG handle, huh? For the creeps, I guess. Okay.
Yeah, that is my real name.
No, but like Audra Bear is your real name?
Audra Bear.
Oh, the whole
Audra Bear. That's
Audra
it.
Bear. Okay.
Nothing missing.
Okay. Then it's kind of like me.
It's the full thing.
Went with the real handle, kind of like me. All right, word then.
Easy to find.
Yeah. Okay. So what are like the small things you appreciate daily?
Small things I appreciate daily.
Yeah.
My breath, the sunshine, being able to move. There's a lot to be grateful for.
All your limbs?
Yeah, everything. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It's sometimes, things just kind of come up in life that makes you realize that you don't send gratitude for what you actually have.
Yeah.
Like I was telling you earlier, like my roommate just broke his foot. He's like posted up on the couch. Like he can't move. He can't walk down the stairs. He can't go anywhere.
Miserable.
Yeah, it's awful. And he's an athlete. So it's like, it's even harder because he's used to moving all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm not at the same level as him athletically, but like, it just makes me realize like, man, I really need to take advantage of what I have and take advantage of like, what I'm blessed with. Yeah. And just be grateful for that, instead of like thinking the opposite.
Definitely. I mean, it's one of those type of situations where, you don't know what you got till it's gone. Like,
yeah, I think it happens to a lot of people. Yeah. Where it's like you're kind of taken away, even just a fraction of your abundance of blessings. It makes you realize like how much you have. And sometimes that really has to happen every once in a while. It's like a wake-up call. Even though that wasn't directly to me. But like you can look around, you can see people around you and you can see what they're going through and realize like, okay, you've got a lot in front of you. Yeah. So I mean, no matter what the circumstance.
Yeah. Sometimes the checkpoints are rough, but either way, I guess you can use it as a catalyst for something else. For sure. Definitely to appreciate for sure. So as far as going vegan, man, do you think your temperament has changed like since you've been vegan? Like I feel like things don't bother me the same like after going vegan. Like
absolutely. That's funny that you brought that up because I used to be like just crabby and moody. Yeah. Definitely. Especially like with my brothers, I was telling you about my family, like I'm really close with my siblings. Yeah. And like I would just snap at like nothing, like they would just do something that would annoy me and I would just like go off on them. Yeah. And it probably took me about a year of like clean eating and like all that kind of stuff to like really notice a difference, but I don't know if I can just say it's just veganism because there's probably a lot more to it than like the breathing, yoga, meditating, like, definitely it's just a whole lifestyle. And then also just getting away from like society's norms, like we're out here in the mountains, we don't have to be like in the middle of the town to like, have fun like a lot of people do. It's
definitely the whole lifestyle, you know, you can't pick and choose, but I guess it's overall it's the lifestyle of pretty much reducing like the illusions of needs, I guess. The more you realize like, man, I go vegan, I stop this, I don't need this. I guess it kind of just lets you know like, man, what else don't I need? And I know from I guess a lot of people get caught up in attachment in general. So when things happen, people are attached to responses, I guess. And I feel like as a vegan, you're like your temperament is just totally different to where you're like, let that just flow through.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. That's a good point.
So anything that used to bother you? You have any pet peeves then or now? Maybe either way.
Yeah, there's like a really weird one for me. Like I used to hate the sound of people like chewing. And it literally
How dare you eat around me?
And it literally brought anger. Like I just wanted to like hit somebody. Like I was so like raged when I would hear it.
People chewing.
Yeah, like that was just like a weird little thing that like I could not stand.
What a trigger.
Yeah.
Chewing.
And I don't know where that came from. Like I probably still have a lot of research to do on like figuring out the root of that one.
The root of chewing, what that's about.
Yeah, but I've noticed that's not as much of a bother as it used to be.
I guess either way though, sometimes it don't matter. If somebody's chewing annoying, it's annoying, huh? Like it don't matter if you're vegan or not. If somebody they got their mouth open, it's disgusting. But yeah, so I guess that was it for you. So okay, what was the biggest leap in healing for you then?
The biggest leap in healing?
Or maybe like something that you were like, okay, after I get past this, or after in hindsight, you were like, man, after I got past that, it was smooth sailing kind of. Everything was in front of me.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, I went through a season, like, even after I was vegan, I, like, did the whole raw vegan thing, and then I did, like, the 80-10-10, and then, like, the whole, just, like, I tried all these different diets, where I got, like, my body was healing, and I was feeling better, but I got, like, mentally obsessed with the diet, and mentally obsessed with being perfect, and there's this new eating disorder on the market, whatever it's called.
Orthorexia.
Yeah. So it's kind of like anorexia, where, like, you don't eat, but like orthorexia, you actually eat, but you're obsessed with the type of food that you're putting in your body. And it doesn't happen to just vegans. It could be anybody, like any diet that you subscribe to.
Yeah.
You just become obsessed with eating one certain way and you can't go away from that.
Okay,
and I think for me, like,
you become like rigid, I guess.
Yeah, it became like really extreme to the point where I was like restricting, binging, like it was just like this really vicious cycle.
Yeah, a lot of judgment comes from that. It always, with the judgment, you definitely yo-yo a lot, I see.
Yeah, especially, I mean, I don't know, I think especially for women, I don't know if that's a true statement, but there's a lot of pressure. And especially I was putting pressure on myself. I had a title, I had, you know, whatever, like I felt like I had to fit in this certain box to be who I was meant to be, I guess. So that kind of like...
To get rid of what you weren't.
Yeah, but I think at the beginning of my healing journey, when I first went vegan, I didn't look at any of the emotional side of things. I didn't look at like the inner cleansing or anything.
I know.
It was all just like straight up
mechanical.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm gonna eat, you know, 80% this, these macros, and
the measurement.
I have to, I have to like count out my calories or whatever it was. You know, at the time, I didn't think about like what was actually going on. At the time, it was like I was going through a lot emotionally, like with my relationships and with my family and stuff like that, and I never uncovered any of that. So I feel like at the point that like eating disorder was really bad in my life, was when I was like at the breaking point emotionally. So that's kind of why it was rising up. I don't account any of that to veganism or to raw veganism or anything. Like it had nothing to do with the type of nutrition I was putting in my body. It was really just about the emotions. And so I went on like probably a year-long journey actually to uncover a lot of those emotional reasons that I needed to binge, or I needed to be perfect, or I needed to restrict, you know, like whatever it was that I was dealing with.
Because it don't matter, like if you can mechanically cleanse your lungs, but if you haven't fixed the emotional problem, you're still gonna carry grief or whatever organ you're beating up on. Like you're doing like you're basically treating the effects and not the cause. You know, if you're not getting to the emotional end of it, right? Yeah, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, that's great. That's very true, and that's so relevant to that path, into like the whole process of healing. I think for me, like I had to start, you know, went into therapy and like did all this stuff, did natural healing, saw acupuncturist, naturopath, homeopath. Like I just got everybody on board because I was like so stoked to just heal, just to uncover what it was, you know. Because once I found that root, it was almost like it was like a pile of like so much under the rug that I hadn't even peeled back the corner to look at. Like I just needed to open that up and look at and be like, okay, this is the reason why.
I mean, they say nobody knows sickness like the healer, man, and I feel like that's true. You know, once you get like acquainted with healing, you like you know you went through like you've addressed the sickness to where now you know sickness, and you know people don't really know health. You know, people don't know how good their body can feel. So
absolutely,
that's the tough part. You're trying to like, you know, you're really trying to teach somebody that's blind what green is or something.
Yeah, and it's like that quote, you know, people say like, hurt people hurt people.
Definitely.
But it's the opposite, you know, healed people heal people. So once you go through those journeys of learning to like, you know, learning to recognize different hurts, or learning to recognize how to heal or what path to go on, like you're able to assist other people a lot easier. And I think that's why I had to go through a lot of that, and not even to say that it's finished. Like healing is a continual process. You know, internally, externally, like.
As long as you got a body, it seems like it's work to do. As long as you have a body, it's like it seems like if you have a body, it's supposed to be doing some type of work or unworking or some type of service to life itself, and at the same time, like when you do what you're designed for, you enjoy the work, so it's not work in that sense. You know, like healing for you isn't like a job.
It's exciting.
It's like breathing.
Know, I think when I first kind of started this journey, for me, you know, it was like 2 years after I was vegan. Like that wasn't even part of it, but like. Someone had told me, I think it was, you know, a counselor or someone I was working with had said, you know, there's always going to be a reason for you to come into counseling, whether you start a new relationship or move to a new city or like whatever it externally is that's changing in your life. There's always going to be a reason to seek help. And at first I was like kind of disheartened or like discouraged by that.
I mean,
because like that sounds like a lot of work.
I know, I get it. I just feel like as long as you have a body, you got the human body, you're like in the game, you're gonna deal with other humans. So like you're dealing with your own human. So you know, it got the limbic brain. It likes that socializing. It likes to bounce things off of other humans, and like you know that whole thing with as far as like being in a camaraderie environment. I guess you know I feel like the human you is always kind of like fiending for that in a sense, like, and not in a negative way. I just mean like that's just like it's nature, just like birds sing, kind of like humans interact and like exchange perspective and creation. Like
I don't know, I think it's exciting now. It's like always looking for something new to like work through, because every time I get past another speed bump, it's like my life is accelerated or upgraded. Yeah. Do you feel that too?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean,
do you feel like you're like searching for things to fix, or is it more just like, okay, it comes and you don't freak out?
I feel
some people would.
Yeah, no, I just feel like it's always like I have the tools or the energy or whatever I need to like convert this to alchemize the situation. Yeah, I feel like, you know, like, a good way to put it. Yeah, like the situation, like it has to be alchemized, whether it's like an emotional situation I got to handle or financial or whatever. Like I have to do, it's energy work that has to be done. And I feel like the tools are there, you know, it's just like, whether I'm forgetting about them, whether I misplaced them, but they're always there. And it's like, it's usually, for me, I feel like it's always a case of me forgetting, like, oh yeah, that's right, I could do that, I can do this, you know. And I feel like for me personally, that's what it always is, like that it's like the ingredients are all here. How do I arrange this to make the recipe, you know? And then it always gets reset through different chapters of life. Like I get the ingredients back, same ingredients, same 4 elements, and different arrangement. It's like, okay, now you got a Rubik's Cube it back, you know,
equation
from some different state. Yeah.
Do you feel like you seek out healers, or do you feel like they find you if needed?
Yeah, I about to say, because we the truth, you know what I'm saying? So we don't have to seek, you know what I'm saying? It's already here. So I feel like, we've been talking in ways that maybe we don't even know for eternity. So I feel like, like we definitely, I guess we connect when we see other healers, you know, go through processes of, you know, declining. I feel like when that happens, when you see another person declining, that you might want to step into their life or something like that, because you know their potential, because you see your own potential, like that type of stuff. But as far as like reaching out for healers, I don't know. I feel like the people that I naturally gravitate towards, you know, it's something that we can exchange and learn. And I feel like ultimately, definitely, it's the overall healing. Something gets healed, or, you know, some type of lesson happens, or event gets set up to learn something later on, or whatever.
And it's kind of cool, like how helping or I guess facilitating others to heal, or helping them on their journey can be really healing to yourself in turn.
Definitely. Yeah.
So you're right. I guess it's not something that has to be really sought out. It's just presented to you when you need it.
Yeah, because I mean, even with social media and stuff, I still feel like the people like that you meet in your life, you would have met them even without social media. Because that's how. Yeah,
that's cool.
I still feel that way. I feel like, you know, like the kindred spirits are who they are. You meet who you're supposed to meet. These are just the means we have in this time. And it's social media. It might have been Pony Express another time or something. I don't know. Yeah. But like now, this is what it is.
That's a cool way to put that.
I feel like, you know, we're bigger. We came before it, so I feel like it's a product of our web. So
I mean, that's true. We're part of a generation where we didn't have that growing up. Like I didn't get Facebook until I was like 13 or 14 or something. But I still had friends.
So how old are you now?
24.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
How old are you?
I'm 28. Just turned 28.
Cool.
Yeah. So as far as relationships and friendships, do you have to be with vegans, or like, you know, I know you don't like when people eat, so maybe when they're not vegans.
That part now.
Yeah, okay. So
friendships, I feel like I attract a lot of vegans in my life.
Yeah.
Just naturally, kind of that same thing.
Yeah.
I feel like people at least have to be open-minded and don't want to argue with me all the time.
Yeah.
For me to hang out with them.
No, exactly, because then it's pointless trying to always.
Yeah, because I mean, I could list statistics, I could list all the books and documentaries that are out there, you know, I could tell people the facts, but it's like, if you're still going to argue with me and tell me that you need eggs for protein, or you still need this, it's like,
like
you're on your own path, like, you don't need me.
You got to jump into their paradigm to even argue with them. And all that,
and
you know,
that's almost like, that takes up so much energy.
Yeah.
You know, that just takes up too much time. So I feel like the people around me, like I do have a lot of friends that are vegan, but at the same time, like you don't have to be.
Yeah, okay.
Just don't judge me, you know? It's kind of crazy because I've been taking a lot of trips lately, and it's made me realize like who I want to be traveling with when I'm choosing travel partners. Because
you're making memories.
Big deal. I mean, that's a big deal when it comes to food. Like if I'm with someone that's constantly stopping every 3 hours to eat, and they always want fast food, and they want this, and it's like, that's taking time out of our time to adventure, or time to travel and see the world. Yeah. When I'm the kind of person I only eat twice a day, and I can go to the grocery store. And then you're in a nice circadian rhythm to where you go to the bathroom, you know, pretty regularly in a sense to where, you know, because I see it all the time, like
not to knock my brother, but my brother, he, you know, drinks and eats things that I don't. And I feel like if I'm on a road trip with him, he's always stopping to piss.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, man, we can keep it moving. Like, you know, like, but yeah, it's always, it's like,
That's the thing about simple nutrition is that it makes life so easy too.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to eat as often. You don't have to eat as much.
Yep.
You stay hydrated without having to constantly be drinking water, and you feel good. You know, it's just, there's so much to it that like, it's that reductionist mindset.
Yeah.
That,
you're getting right to the point. You're getting right to, you're not doing no extras. You know, like I'm doing exactly what I need to do.
And it's cheap too.
Yeah.
You know, imagine how much money we save not eating out. Like, okay, there's the occasional like vegan restaurant, that stuff's expensive, but like for the majority of the time, like I'll just eat, you know, natural.
Yeah, if your food's more alive, you're gonna eat less.
Just real stuff.
Yeah,
it's easy. I don't have to prepare. I don't have to do anything.
Yeah, the more raw stuff you eat, the less you eat anyway. You're gonna have money to go out occasionally. You know, if you're getting sun and good air and you're eating raw foods when you do chew things, like you're getting straight to the point. You're going right to the nourishment. You're not playing games and just doing like entertainment value. So,
which makes travel so simple, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you travel a lot by your own?
Yeah, mostly. Yeah, so I feel like people always do that to you, like where they're like, how do you travel as a vegan? I'm like, yo, fruits literally grow all over the earth. Like, I don't understand.
And the sun shines everywhere.
Yeah, and it's like so many plants. Like, yeah.
It's not that hard.
How many plants do I eat and how many animals do you eat? You know, that type of thing. But
I think there's a lot more convenience in today's day.
What's your favorite snack then?
My favorite snack? Mangoes with lime juice and tagine.
Yeah, can't. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's nice. All right. So you got any? So is your mangoes your favorite fruit in general?
Mangoes and cherries.
Okay.
And figs. I haven't really been able
to find
those in Vegas in the last couple of weeks, but those are the best probably.
Yeah. I don't know if it's because of I don't know if it's because of scarcity.
Yeah.
Or that I really love them because you can't get them all the time, you know.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, fresh figs.
Yeah, there's only like a couple weeks out of the year that you can get them super ripe and juicy.
Yeah, I love figs.
They're the best.
Yeah. So okay. So you got any favorite herbs or any favorite? Like, you know, right now I guess favorites like herbs.
Yeah.
And like.
I've been drinking the Dr. Morris Heal All tea.
Okay.
Pretty much every day, and I love that one. Like, it's so good if you have like stomach issues, or like, I give it to my roommates. Like, all my roommates are vegan, which is awesome, but give it to them if they have like stomach aches or headache or anything, because like, it really is like this kind of just like a basic elementary herb, and you just drink it as a tea, so it's easy.
Okay. There's so many herbs.
I know. So many.
Okay. So do you have like a podcast or a book or anything that as far as like that's like your favorite thing that you get jewels from regularly, or you just meditating now and you just going into the.
I've been reading You Can Heal Your Body by
Louise Hay.
Yeah. And that's a really great reference because she's got a list. You know, it's all about like the energetic healing and the metaphysical reasons of why you're sick, and it kind of goes hand in hand with like a lot of Reiki. If you're not into that, whatever, like it's still really powerful. But she's got a whole list of every symptom that you could ever experience.
Yeah.
So it goes from headaches to a broken foot to eye pain, like literally anything that's going on in your body, and she'll tell you the metaphysical reason. So for example, say you have pain in your foot. So this happened to me once.
Walking off the path. You walking off the path.
It's
literal too. I know it's literal stuff.
Yeah, but for me it was more like the fear of moving forward.
That too.
Because it's your feet that bring you forward, right?
Yeah, and then the quad too, because it propels the leg to pick it up. You know?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's the thing. It's like, you know, that's how it is though. Like everything is definitely connected in that way to where it's like there's no mistakes in it.
No mistakes. Yeah, your body's constantly telling you everything that you know that you need to know. And it's kind of crazy. When I first got that book, I went through and I wrote down like every symptom that I've ever experienced in my life, you know, from birth to now, 24 years. And I was surprised how many there was. Like, I didn't ever think that I was a sick person. I don't really experience a lot of symptoms now, but you know, in the past I've experienced a lot of these, and I went through and wrote down, you know, the metaphysical reason. Oh, but not only that, right next to the metaphysical reason, she'll write down an affirmation to kind of combat it. So say it's your feet, you know, in that example.
Yeah.
That reason would be that you have a fear of moving forward. So then the affirmation for that would be, I have clear intentions, I make good decisions, I'm excited for the future, and I love moving forward. You would say something like that.
Yeah.
And that's something that you could say every morning or every time you feel pain or whatever it is to kind of heal.
Because definitely, people talk to themselves horribly. I mean, if you talk to yourself like you talk to your best friend, your life would definitely change, you know. If you don't, you know, you definitely have to practice that dialogue with yourself, you know. You're not going to you're not even going to believe it. Like, if you say thou shalt not steal every day for a year, you won't steal, you know what I mean? But if it's like... And that's how it is for everything. If you say, like, you know, thou shalt not kill, and you don't eat animals, like, if you really understand that to the fullest depths, I feel like if you really say it, then it's hard.
It'll just be in your being. Like, you can't deny it. Like, you won't even be able to go against that, because the more you say it, the more you hear it, the more you surround yourself with those words, that vibration, that energy. Like, that's what your beliefs are going to be built on, basically.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so that's a good one.
Yeah, so what is God to you, and, like, what is spirits to you?
Like, that's a difference, like God versus spirits?
I don't know. I mean, if you have different definitions, I'm just asking for your personal.
No, I think it's all one.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up Christian, so I related to God the Father in heaven, and he was never here on earth, and he was always up there, and I'm down here, and there's this huge separation, right? So,
I mean,
I kind of had to go through this, like, I guess, journey to discover who he really was.
Yeah.
Which was really exciting to unveil that, like, he's right here, you know, and he's in me. And
the universe is all right there.
And it's not just a he, it's everything, and there's no separation and all of that. So, like, I don't know. I think you can call it whatever you want.
I guess spirit,
to me, God sounds too religious. I don't really like using that word.
Yeah.
To some people, that can be offensive.
And it's from a language, too, a specific language, that word itself, you know. And I guess spirit itself, you know, is coming from the breath, spira or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
I think it just means energy. But, you know, again, like you said, it's all one. You know. Do you ever have any supernatural occurrences or anything like that? Or any miracles you want to talk about this year or in general in your life that you're like, yo, this is how I know things are divine and there's no separation?
Let me think about that one.
Okay.
Any miracles? I could think about, like, dreams. I get a lot of dreams.
Yeah.
And it's stuff that will, like, happen the next day, or things that happen in my life, or, like, guidance.
Yeah.
That's kind of, like, probably the biggest, maybe the largest way the universe communicates to me.
The dreams are on time.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's a big one.
Okay.
I'm trying to think about miracles, though.
Anything recently? Just small things. It could be anything in a day. Like, you know, anything could have happened, you know, like where something didn't. Like, I feel like small miracles happen all the time. We just don't appreciate them.
Okay, so something happened last night that was kind of crazy. I was at the Grand Canyon.
See, look.
Yeah, see? Okay. And I was with one of my friends, and we walked out. I don't know how this is my first time at the Grand Canyon, so I don't really know how it worked. Or, like, so we took a shuttle out to this one spot to go watch the sunset. So we sat down, watched the sunset. We meditated there for a little bit, realized what time it was, and we started walking back and realized we missed the bus. And we were like 2 miles from our car, and it was dark, and we were tired and wanted to go home. You know, the whole thing. Yeah. And so we're walking down.
But God, life don't give you nothing you can't handle. You got the tools. Like, it's like sometimes you're like, I guess I got to just use these feet I got.
Yep,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can handle it. So we're walking down. Spent after 3 days of hiking, we're just like so tired. And then there's this car on the side of the road, and there's not supposed to be any cars on this road. Yeah. And had an Illinois license plate, and my friend was from Illinois, and he goes, oh, you're from, that's where I'm from, where are you from, da-da-da. She goes, oh yeah, I'm working here for the summer, like my cabin's just like a little bit away, like I'll drive you guys back if you want. So we hop in the car. I mean, that alone is a miracle that she wants to give us a ride. Like this little, she was like 20 years old, like just a young girl, didn't even,
that's totally,
just wants to help out.
That's totally selfless of her.
Yeah, for sure. And, we're strangers to her. Like, she doesn't have to trust us.
Yeah, you could be a serial killer, I guess.
For sure. So I hop in her car, and she's playing this song. This is actually kind of crazy. She's playing this song by River Valley Church, which is a church that my brother plays drums for. And he was actually playing drums on that track. So she's like playing his drums, and like this is back in Minnesota.
The world too small.
This is in Minnesota, and
the
she's
world
from
too
Illinois,
small.
and we're out in Arizona, like all over the place. And it was just like so crazy to me, like how
perfect
little
everything
things
is.
Like that can be like so.
That's massive, though. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it is massive. But like if you didn't notice, like if I hadn't noticed those little things, like I wouldn't be as appreciative. That's
what I mean, though. Like you can't be with someone that doesn't pay attention to life like you do.
Yeah.
Like whether they're friends, whether it's friends or like intimacy and relationships, like that's why I feel like it's hard to say like I don't want to define people. I definitely would prefer veganism and beyond as far as that is concerned. But people that don't pay attention, I need somebody to be like at the same pace. Like they need to be astute the way I am. You know what I mean? Like, or
just be aware of what's going on around you. But like, I'm the same way with numbers. Like, I love seeing certain numbers. Like, there's certain numbers that mean different things, and I've kind of always been like this. Maybe the last 10 years, where like I'll see things and I'll think of a person, or that's communicating this to me, or whatever it is, and I get so excited.
Yeah.
Like, my favorite number is 117, and I don't really know why. I just always see it, and I get so excited every time I see it. Like, on my speedometer or on my, okay, I'm not driving 117. Actually, I do, because my car's set to kilometers.
Oh, okay. So I drive 117 on motorcycles, but not in cars.
Yeah. So 117 kilometers is like 60 miles or something like that. I don't know, whatever. Yeah. But I see it like on the clock, and like I see it all the time, and it's fun because I feel like I'm always looking for it, for that and just other little details in life that mean something to me that would mean nothing to you.
Yeah,
you know?
Definitely.
But it's things like that I'm like, oh, look, it's 117.
Because you've been paying attention, though, since then. Yeah. And then now, you know, it's just like part of the whole course. I feel like other people, like, you know, when you're telling them to point at it and pay attention, then it's like kind of
like, okay, what?
Yeah.
But that's, I guess, that kind of is what you were saying. Like, people who pay attention, who are on that same kind of wavelength of like just knowing what's going on and being open to always being communicated to, because we're always being communicated to. There's always messages being sent to us, whether it's through colors or dreams or numbers or nature, whatever it is that speaks to you. There's always something being sent your way.
Yeah.
You just have to look for it.
Yeah, and the more you fight it, the more, you know, life fights you, it seems like, anyway. The more you fight the calls, and, you know, I'm not answering that. I would neglect that. It seemed like, you're just trying to push the beach ball underwater.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. Word.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I want to do a short video, because I know this is a little long, but I want to do a short one with you too. Cool. So yeah, anything, info's in the description. It's Audra Bear on IG. And anything you want to say real quick or plug anything?
No, we got a lot in there.
Yeah,
that was great.
Yeah, 2020 Tantra on Amazon. Watch out for this next vid.